Hey everybody, James here with Tactical Response. Who am I here with?
Justin Hoffman from Blackhawk.
And what are we going to talk about today?
So got a few holsters I want to kind of run through. First off, I'm going to talk about, this is our T-Series L2C Overt system. So the magic behind the Overt is very simple. So essentially what we did was we took our standard T-Series L2C holster body, and essentially this holster by itself is designed to be carried right directly on the belt. That's just kind of like underneath the sport coat, underneath the t-shirt. It's kind of like an outside the waistband concealment holster. So that's designed to go right on the belt. It's inherently optics compatible because it's got a low cut front sight track. So essentially if you're running optics, it's compatible for that. But that's only going to work for a limited application. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to set up a tactical gun belt holster that was a dedicated gun belt holster that served a specific need. So essentially what I did was we put the that L2C holster body on our jacket slot, so it drops the height of the pistol grip down towards basically the top end of the pistol belt. That serves a couple of different purposes. Number one, it helps clear body armor. If you have body armor or gear on your side, it's going to help clear that. And number two, what it does is it really kind of drops that draw stroke down to a little bit more ergonomic and easy to grab draw stroke. The second thing that we did is essentially we launched a product called the Jacket Slot Leg Strap Adapter. And what it is a lot of times leg straps, you have your old school thigh strap rigs, which you basically it hangs from a piece of webbing and it straps on your thigh. And
let's hit the overhead so I can see this better. Okay, go ahead.
So the problem with a full dedicated thigh platform is when you take off running, your holster is going to be flopping around because you got weight strapped to your thigh. So the magic behind the jacket slot is what that does is the holster is directly mounted to the belt via injection molded plastic, so it's a good rigid platform. And then when you move, the leg strap is going to pivot with your natural body mechanics.
That's really cool.
So the other thing that's nice about that, think about other things that you might be doing in a dynamic environment outside of just shooting a gun. You're going to be climbing over obstacles, like maybe climbing a caving ladder. That's something that I did in the Navy. And when you're dangling from a caving ladder and you're trying to pull a handgun out of a full thigh platform when you're hanging from the caving ladder, and then instead of pulling straight up, you're pulling laterally while you're in a 6-foot sea state, ship's going up and down. You got the rib boat underneath you going up and down, about to fall off. It's just nicer to have that holster vertical, but you have the benefits of still having that thigh strap for stability when you're drawing under stress. So that's just a really snappy accessory, and that's actually included with the T-Series L2C Overt. Now, the most important factor with the T-Series system is, so folks that are familiar with Blackhawk, the claim to fame and the thing that kind of launched us out there was the SERPA, the index finger release mechanism that some folks love, some folks don't love it, but I'm indifferent to it. But essentially what we've done is we've taken a release mechanism similar to that and we moved it over to the thumb. So instead of...
Hold up, they might be able to see it. Here.
Okay.
Look here.
So instead of hitting an index finger release right there, when you come down and you establish your master grip, essentially your release paddle is right there where your thumb is. So when you come down and establish that master grip, all you have to do is squeeze inboard. And James, I really feel like, especially after checking off day one of training with you and kind of learning the method behind the madness on the way you guys do training about the fighter's mindset. It's all about keep it simple, stupid. So when you want to come down and you want to jerk that pistol and get into the fight, if you have to rotate a bail forward or pull back on a thumb switch or push a switch down, all three of those things are not what you're doing when you're grabbing your pistol. Essentially, when you're grabbing your pistol, you come down and establish that master grip, and you're going to jerk the pistol out. And you notice right there, there was nothing special about what I had to do.
Here's what I'll say. They know I like Blackhawk. They know I wasn't a fan of, indifferent to the SERPA. Mm-hmm. But here's what I will tell you about this, is that it would be harder for you to draw this pistol and miss that release than it would be to grab it. You could draw that gun, never having trained, reach there and pull that gun out and hit the release. It is that automatic. You would have to try to miss it to miss it.
Exactly. Now, essentially, you come down and you establish that master grip. Essentially, you have that good high tang grip, and you're squeezing inboard. Again, you do not have to think about it. And that's what I just absolutely love about this holster, because everything about what I do, it is also tailored around the fight, keeping things simple, because when things go wrong and you're going through stress, you have a massive adrenaline dump to the veins of your body, cones of your eyes widen out, respiratory rate goes up, you lose a good amount of that cognitive ability to think through problem solving skills. So why would we make our gear more difficult to deal with? The goal should be to make the gear simplified so that you can think through greater problems like fighting and surviving.
And so this is a level 2?
Level 2,
yeah,
exactly.
Level 2. Mm-hmm.
So essentially you have a screw retention mechanism right there. So when you torque in on that screw, you're going to increase the passive retention, which is oftentimes called level 1 retention. That's that passive friction retention. So then when you come down and establish that master grip, and essentially when your thumb just squeezes inboard on the pistol like it naturally would when you're going to draw, that is how you defeat your level 2 retention. And again, you've seen how smooth it was. There's nothing to it.
No, very cool.
And I actually have an extra piece of kit on my L2C Overt. This next piece of kit I want to show you real quick. It's actually not, it doesn't come with the Overt, but it is an optional accessory that you can get from us. It's called our new Qd2 system. So essentially the old Blackhawk Qd system, I don't have one handy, but it was a rotating vault door. You basically, you pull up on 2 switches and you rotate it and pull it off. It worked great, but it was just kind of big.
Clunky.
It was kind of clunky. So we designed a new system that was a lot more streamlined. It doesn't really like go out past the exterior diameter of the holster itself. And you grab these 2 switches on the bottom and pull both switches up simultaneously, and you pull up on it and it releases the holster from the QD system.
Yeah, having used the other one, the rotating one, a moderate amount, and just being introduced to this is obviously an improvement.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things different that we did with our T-Series system as opposed to other paths that we have taken with holsters. The first thing and most important thing is that every single T-Series product is duty rated. Now, I can't really get into like the details on what duty rated is. It's kind of somewhat proprietary, but essentially out of 10,000 foot view, it's a series of environmental torture testing, pull strength testing, and literally destructive testing to confirm that it will meet duty specification standards, whether that's a cop on the street or a door kicker downrange. So the jacket slot is duty rated. The holster itself is duty rated. This new QD system is duty rated. It all goes through the same testing. Now, when you get the new QD system, it's going to come with a male adapter, which is called the Delta Link. That's what you bolt onto your holster. And then it's going to come with the female mounting system. Now, that's all well and good. Okay, it's a piece of kit. Great. What do you do with it? What can I do with it? Why is that beneficial? What that does is it allows you to rapidly change your mission set. If you don't need a light, you can just have your non-light bearing fixture on there, but you can rapidly swap over to a light bearing fixture, and then right there you have the capabilities of having light. So what else can you do with that piece of kit? If you need to take your holster system and move it from the gun belt up to, say, like a plate carrier or something, you can dismount it from from your gun belt, move it up to the plate carrier, and bam, it's right there.
We'll talk about the carrier in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about the carrier in a minute, but I want to really explain some application behind this. Do you run around with your handgun on your plate carrier like this all day long? My answer to that, based on my experiences, is absolutely not. I would never recommend just leaving it on there all the time, because how do I lay prone and like defend myself during land warfare with that much standing off of my plate carrier? What this is specifically for this type of application, this is called our T-Series Molle Adapter. It comes with the same Qd2 or the new T-Series quick disconnect system, but it also comes with a very small kind of like micro Molle mount. Our old school Molle mount took up 4 rows of Molle. This takes up 2, so it's takes up a lighter footprint, and you can move it around a little bit more. What this is specifically for, if you wanted to move it up here, this configuration is when I'm doing vehicle operations, so that my handgun is easier to get at. You know, like even if I'm running a seatbelt on or something like that, my handgun is a lot easier to get at. And then when I know I have to go and actually do room clearance or something like that, or land warfare, I can just move my holster back over to my gun belt.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah, in Baghdad, that would have been a hit, because in the car, take it off your leg in the car, put it up here, get back out of the car, take it off, put it back in your leg. Yep. That would have been money for sure.
And this Molle Adapter system, this is actually, it's adjustable for angle by 360 degrees. So you can actually, if you'd have to dismount this, and then there's a screw in the back you have to back off to basically unhook the gator teeth that lock it into place. But then once that's loose, you can rotate it to whatever angle you need, whatever's comfortable for you in your draw stroke. I have this set up specifically for me, because that's my most comfortable angle to come down and draw if I have to come off the chest. So you can rotate it to whatever works for you, lock it in, and away you go. So
very cool. So tell us about the tactical games.
The tactical games.
I say that because as a way of telling you guys that Justin isn't just some guy that works at Blackhawk. He's a shooter. He's trained people. He was in the Navy doing cool stuff, and he's here taking a class. He didn't come here to make videos. He came here to take a class, and I said, we can make some videos while you're here. I just want them to know who they're talking to or hearing from.
Yeah. Just want me to like do the whole intro and then talk about the tactical games?
Whatever you want to do.
So, I mean, I was in the Navy for 5 years. So I did some VBSS, stands for Visit Board Search and Seizure. It essentially just consisted of 3 deployments doing counter-piracy and smuggling interdictory stuff. It sounds like it'd be really cool in high speed. It was mostly boring, literally passing out like bottled water and work gloves to fishermen.
It's the same for police work or anything else.
But the cool thing about it is I got to go through some exceptional training. Got trained by some really awesome dudes. But I got out, started my undergrad back home in South Dakota. And while I was doing my undergrad, I started a small business as a firearms instructor, and I also entered into a reserve police officer program at the same time. So I was working full time. I was going to school full time. I was doing the reserve training, and I was also teaching classes. So I had a very busy college life, but I still made time to drink beer. That's important. But anyways, so I did that for a while, and then I found Blackhawk. Blackhawk found me, and the rest is history. But anyways, earlier this summer, I had the honor of competing in something called the Tactical Games. And the Tactical Games is, if you already know what you're doing, it is single-handedly the best practice that you can get, in my opinion. Because, and again, I say because if you already somewhat know what you're doing, you can be safe with firearms, you have skill, you can hit targets with marksmanship. The reason why the Tactical Games is special, in my opinion, is it consists of 2 days. A full Tactical Games is like a Friday, Saturday type of situation. And you show up, you get checked in, or actually it was Saturday, Sunday. Friday was check-in. You check in your gear, you get it all inspected, make sure everything's good to go. They have rules because it's a competition, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to get your gear inspected, make sure you're meeting the rules. And then the day starts at like 7:30, do a safety brief. And each day, Saturday, Sunday, there's 3 battles. And what a battle looks like is you have a series of arduous physical challenges that you have to go through. For instance, like picking up a 150-pound dumbbell to a hang clean, carry that down to the firing line, put the dumbbell down, shoot rifle, shoot pistol, and then pick up the 150-pound barbell, carry it back, and then you have to hang clean and pick it up again. Then you have to do extended arm carry it down to the firing line, shoot rifle, shoot pistol. And this is not turning and burning type of competition. This is not 3-gun. This is not about running around as fast as you can, and then standing in a fatal funnel, and then blazing down targets, and then doing that again. This is all about managing your heart rate, managing your respiratory rate, and being able to do that under stress when you're exhausted. And then every miss counts 10 seconds against you. So it's all about managing stress and getting combat effective hits. So again, like to me, and it's not training. Don't get that wrong. What James does, what James teaches, that's training. Training teaches you what to practice. But in my opinion, if you want to get some of the best practice, it is the tactical games right now. Also
kind of a test.
Yes.
You know, kind of, okay, I have identified the places where I need improvement.
Exactly. And for me, I'm all about owning my weaknesses. Like, I was not strong enough to be competing in the class that I was in. I was like, oh, you know, I'm ex-military. I'm going to sign up for elite division. That was a mistake on my part because I was not strong enough to effectively lift some of the implements repeatedly over the course of not 1 day, but 2 days, and then recover enough on day 2 to do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm not messing with you. How much you weigh?
I weigh 170.
I'm thinking 150-pound press. Whew.
It was a good time. You adapt and overcome. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I did the best I could with what I had. It was a good time. But yeah.
Well, it's good for them to know that you're not just some guy here. Hey, buy a holster. You helped design this. You use this. You've tested this. You're here training with it.
Yep.
So I want them to know it's not just some guy.
Yeah, I mean, and when I competed in the tactical games, that was like right when we were launching our new Foundation Series tactical nylon system, and around the time that we launched the L2C Overt. And what was I running in the tactical games? That gear, because I wanted to pound the snot out of this gear to make sure that like it is going to do what it needs to do. So, and that's really important to me, because to me it's not about just developing gear. Yes, my job is a job and it pays the bills. But to me, my job is much more than that. It's a passion. My personal goal is to see as many people as possible in this country proficient with the use of firearms, carrying firearms, and just being a force for good. So that is what is important to me.
Awesome. Anything else about this stuff?
Yeah, so this is like the tactical kind of overt stuff. I just want to talk real quick about some of the covert stuff. So the new Stash IWB concealed carry holster system, that's this bad boy right here. So essentially, this is a modular, and it's a modular concealed carry holster system. Whenever I design a new product, I start off with, I obviously go out and I find a problem. I observe the battle space, as I call it, and I find a problem, and then I always start off with a guiding principle. And the guiding principle behind designing the Stash IWB was modularity without sacrificing performance. Usually what you see out there in the holster space is you have things that are super modular and they look like they're going to fall apart, like they're held together with bubblegum and broken dreams. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, you have something that's incredibly rigid. Like sometimes you'll see like a dedicated appendix platform system. It's incredibly rigid. Sometimes it can be fairly uncomfortable depending on your body type. And the problem is that's all it can do. It's a one-trick pony. That's all it can do. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to develop a holster system that could literally do it all and do it all well, and really kind of strike the balance between that dichotomy between modularity and rigidity. So you can actually join the entire system together into an appendix platform by using a flexible injection molded polymer wing. And that injection molded polymer wing is actually made out of a material called Hytrol. It's an incredibly tear resistant, very, very tough material, but it's also flexible, so it moves with your body. You can see this one I have right here. This is the way I normally carry. I don't carry in an appendix platform. Some people ask, like, well, why did you develop an appendix carry holster system when you don't carry that way? Because as much as I do develop things for myself, I'm not just developing it for myself.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that you could disjoin this and carry on your strong side hip or at the forward of 3 o'clock if that's how you roll, and then you could carry your magazine on your offhand hip.
Well, the good part of that is I know a bunch of folks that have bought an appendix holster and went, not for me.
Yeah.
Well, if they buy this one, they can go, okay, this is for me.
Bingo. So the other really snappy part about this is you can actually get it in 2 different configurations. You can get it in a base kit or a full kit, a full premium kit. And the base kit is just a holster, which would be the holster basket itself, and then the belt clip. And then, so this part right here, this would not be included in a base kit. And then in the premium kit, it comes with the platform adjoining wing that I was mentioning earlier, comes with another spare magazine carrier, and it comes with the concealment claw and another belt clip for the mag carrier. And the cool thing about that is everything is angle adjustable, and then the concealment claw is actually adjustable for height. And what that does is when you're carrying underneath the garment, this concealment claw helps pull the pistol grip inboard towards the body ever so slightly, so that it helps reduce that printing signature underneath the garment. I'm actually carrying right now with my...
well, they can't see because of the table.
I was going to pick it up. But essentially, I'm carrying right now with my Glock 19, and like, you really couldn't even see it if I was carrying anyways. But the retention is adjustable. You can just torque down those 2 screws. There's rubber bushings behind it. And actually, the entire system is ambidextrous. So carry on one side, mirrors carry on the other. If you're a lefty, you just move the belt clip over to the other side. And if you get the premium kit, it does come with a left-handed concealment claw also, because this part was something that we couldn't just make specifically ambidextrous because this takes a rigid load. So it needed to be specific, but we just said, like, well, let's just include a righty and a lefty in the kit. So no matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, because there's nothing that sucks. Like, this bugs me. There's nothing that sucks more than when you go into a gun store, you find that gun that you want, and you get it, and you're shopping holsters, and you find a holster you like, and they only have it in left-handed, and you're a righty, or they only have it in right-handed, and you're a lefty. So we just wanted to say, like, I mean, really, if you can have your cake and eat it too, why not?
Right.
So something that's really important to me about shirt guards is essentially the shirt guard, if it comes up into the tang, in my opinion, like this is the tang, essentially that's where you establish your master fighting grip when you're going to draw this weapon from the holster. If the shirt guard comes up into the tang, that's a problem because that's going to inhibit your ability to establish that fighting grip on the weapon from the holster. So we opted for a low profile shirt guard so that whether you're lefty or righty, however you configure this, you come down and you establish that master fighting grip, and it's not going to dig in, but there is enough there to still behave as a shirt guard. And now I'm going to feel like that ShamWow guy. But wait, there's more.
There is more.
But essentially, like, I really like dual purpose things. So that same geometry we're using on the front edge so that you have the ability to back out these 2 screws and you can move the belt clip up and down, and you can actually build in a little bit of cant if you want. And that allows you the ability to carry at the 4 o'clock position and still kind of angle that holster just a little bit so it's a little bit more ergonomic to draw from. And then these mounting screws right here, that is where you are going to mount your platform adjoining wing. I should really just assemble one here.
No, you don't have to assemble one.
But those screws are where you mount your platform adjoining wing. And essentially, you have 3 different positions that you can mount that so that the magazine carrier is not only adjustable for height, it's adjustable for angle. Because again, walking that fine line between modularity and rigidity, I wanted to make sure that we could strike that balance right in the middle. So this is our platform adjoining wing. And that allows you to go ahead and mount that magazine carrier. This is the concealment claw kit. This is the spare belt clip. Now, I know this looks like a lot of stuff.
It has real instructions.
Yep.
So don't worry. Don't think there's a whole bunch of parts. Very good diagrams. Okay.
Yep. So it comes with the instruction manual, but if you're anything like me, like it's nice to have like the physical handbook that you can reference. But what you can also do is you can jump on YouTube and search like the Blackhawk video list by Stash IWB. And I did a full, like, you know, soup to nuts assembly video.
Me and my people only do that after we screw up.
So we wanted to make sure we did that. We're going to do more of that just because, like, it's just handy to have a video reference, so it just makes things easier. So, cool. So that's the Stash IWB, again, modularity without sacrificing performance. One other thing I wanted to, holster I want to cover real quick is something that we just launched in October. This is a new program, brand new program that we just launched. And this is our new custom Kydex program. Now, again, like the Stash, the guiding principle was modularity without sacrificing performance. The idea behind our custom Kydex program is custom features without the custom price tag. So essentially, you can jump on the custom side of the website, which is custom.blackhawk.com. You can go there and you can peruse a very, very wide list of fits. That was the other constraining factor for like a lot of our injection molded holsters is like the minute we think we have all the fits covered,
yeah, right,
someone's emailing us saying like, why don't you have a Canic fit, or like, why don't you have a light bearing like Desert Eagle fit or something, I don't know. So like we wanted to make sure that it's just easier and faster to make Kydex molds. So that was one of the reasons that we did a custom Kydex program. So you can jump on that, again, it was custom.blackhawk.com, and you can pick the belt clip you want. Right now there's 2 different belt clip selections, but I would say around Christmas time there's going to be 5 different belt clip systems between 1.5" or 1.75" non-tuckable, and then 1.5" and 1.75" tuckable. And then you can also select an Ulti Clip. An Ulti Clip is really handy.
We're fans.
Yep, it's just a handy way to carry with that gator locking clip, especially like you should be carrying with a gun belt. But if you're in a position where you just like aren't wearing the type of stuff that supports a gun belt, you can still at least have a gun with you. Mm-hmm. It's better than nothing. So. Again, you can order it with the concealment claw. It's very similar in design and scope and scale as the Stash IWB, but actually uses the same type of hardware, a good wraparound aggressive J-style belt clip. That is something critical, in my opinion, to have a really good wraparound J-style belt clip. Make sure it's definitely going to pick up that belt when you go to jerk your pistol, because I've actually had nightmares about this. I don't know if you have.
A lot of people have.
Yeah, but you go to jerk your pistol and get in the fight, and your holster's stuck on the end of your gun. I've had nightmares about that. that and the trigger won't press nightmare. I've had that one a lot. But one thing you'll notice about the custom Kydex program, as opposed to like the Stash IWB, is we went with an actual full shirt guard on this system. And my thought behind that was like, okay, this is modularity without sacrificing performance. Check. But to me, a custom Kydex holster shouldn't be ambidextrous, in my opinion. So we went with, there's right-handed options and there's left-handed options. And again, something that's very important to me is the design of that shirt guard. It sweeps forward so that it just makes sure that it won't come into your tang when you go down to establish that fighting grip.
So people are going to ask what kind of lead times on the custom stuff.
That's the other cool thing. So again, generally, again, it was a custom holster without a custom wait time. So generally, if you order a custom holster, like it could take 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've ordered some, like when I developed this system, I looked at the battle space and I ordered samples from a lot of different outfits. And there was one holster that literally it took 3 months to get to me. Mm-hmm. So that was one big thing we wanted to fix. So when you go on custom.blackhawk.com, you peruse like over 100 fits. I believe there's like 121 fits in the IWB alone. So you peruse the fits, you find the fit that you want, you customize it with the different finishes. There's, I want to say there's over 60 different finishes between solid colors, different camo. This is actually camo on carbon fiber. Looks pretty badass. We have black multicam. Pick the custom finish, and you hit submit. And that holster is going to ship to you in 72 hours. By the time you place the order and the time it ships, that will ship within 72 hours. So that's the kind of magic thing there.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, if you've made the decision that you want to carry, like, you need that holster yesterday. You know what I mean?
I get it. That's for a custom.
Exactly.
No, it's that's unheard of.
So there's a variety of different customizable features outside of just like pick your holster finish and pick your belt clip. You can order it compatible with an RDS if you're running with an optic on your handgun. You can order it extended with for suppressor height sights. You can order it compatible with a threaded barrel. We wanted to make sure that every little thing that every little nuance that someone is going to do to their handgun, we just wanted to make sure that we covered all those boxes and made sure it was going to be compatible for everybody.
Very cool.
Yep.
What else? Is that it for this? Want to talk about this guy?
That is the Overt. That's just in the package. So that's all the holsters I wanted to touch on. So.
All right, so that's a lot, right? You guys learned something about holsters. Me too. So thank you, Justin.
Absolutely.
We're going to do another video on the plate carrier and the rest of the gear. So look for that coming up very soon. Also check out Justin's the Blackhawk Facebook, right?
Yep.
Where you do stuff on there.
Yeah. Every other Friday, I do a Facebook live stream, and that's just something that I'm trying to do to make sure that we can connect with our user base and get that direct feedback. And what we do is we typically we cover a piece of gear and kind of do a deep dive on that piece of gear, or we also cover a training topic. And our training campaign is called YR2P, or Your Right to Protect. And in that campaign, like, we're talking all kinds of, different shooting techniques, drawing techniques. I dive into personal preparedness as well, because I'm a bit of a prepper myself. So
he's a lot of a prepper. He makes me feel normal.
You're being super humble now, but it's important to be ready. I mean, if the last 18 months has taught us anything, it's that you're a fool if you don't think ahead and plan accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that simple.
All right, Justin and James for Tactical Response remind you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.